Rex bringing you the next edition of Petong Points podcast from the beautiful studios of... Whether you're a newbie, an old pro, and I know some of them, there will be something for you in today's show. This week our journey will take us to Tasmania for a great games report, Adelaide, or Glenelg, really, where the stars shone. We will go 8 kilometres away from Bung Bong, where it did rain, down to the Mornington Peninsula for an update, to the Sunshine Coast in Queensland to not find what we were looking for, and of course go to Gay Paris, although it wasn't so gay on this day. And we're going to work on our 7 deadly sins and more. So settle in, grab a wine or a pastis, not if you're driving though, and let's go. First up though, there have been a few changes in the Petong Federation of Australia. Starting with the new board and notably the first female president of PFA, Rosemary Wall. Congratulations, Rosemary. Well done. The other elected members are Vice President Jonathan Giddings, Treasurer Helen Bayette, Secretary is Peter Wells. Good on you, Peter. Communications and Administration go to Jeff Langdon. Christine Caceres will be assisting Jonathan in the role of overseeing government relations. Jeff will also continue to work in the role of the club and league relations. David Shaw and Jean-Francois Vessier continue their roles chairing the umpires and coaches commissions respectively. Other changes for the PFA include their new website and platform. I found it to be very clean, easy to navigate, and containing plenty of news with lots of interesting images. And moving images too, I was impressed. Knowing what is involved in making and maintaining websites, I congratulate PFA on the new face. The loyal audience to Petong Points podcast will be aware of the delay between the last episode and this one. This was due to the first opportunity after COVID lockdowns for Kathy and I to get to the Sunshine Coast to visit family we hadn't seen for 15 months. Whoa! So there are a couple of reports in today's show which are slightly dated. Nonetheless, they are as important now as they were then, so still deserve to be mentioned. And first off the rank is the official opening of the Mount Martha Petong Club Bouladrome. This report, first published in the Mornington News on the 30th of March 2021. Mount Martha Bouladrome is the rather grand-sounding name for the 24-lane international standard Petong rink. The rink was built as a result of Mount Martha Petong Club and Mount Martha Boulles Club joining forces to turn an old bowling green into a world-class rink, which hopefully will attract players from all over Victoria and Australia. Mornington MP David Morris and Mornington Peninsula Shire Mayor Councillor Des O'Connor threw the first Bulls to open the club on Friday the 12th of March. The following week, the Petong players held their first event, the Jennifer Shaw Memorial Tournament. Yes, a torment for some, but it was a tournament for others. Contested by 21 teams from all over Melbourne. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of those teams because we were fortunately up with our family. Mount Martha Petong Secretary Andrea Bowles said the club's membership is increasing rapidly. Mount Martha Boulles Petong and Social Club is at 45 Watsons Road, Mount Martha. For more information about the club, check their Facebook site at Mount Martha Petong Club or call directly on 0409 413 416. The club's first competition was the Jennifer Shaw 60-plus triples on Friday the 19th of March 2021, and the first 4 teams were Serien, Serge Willman, and Daniel Grandcourt. Yay! The next team was Benji Lebras, Christine Lucette, and my great friend Piero Lubin. Third was Kate Mangan, Jacques Lebras, and Pierre Villemand. And fourth, that team of, what a team too, Jeff Shaw, Kerry Madden, and Roger Madden. We'll come to more results further down the line. In the meantime, here is a report on the game of the long weekend in March from that wonderful, friendly and fun group down in Tasmania, the Bayside Club. To bring the report in her own dulcet tones and character, here is Robin Dando.
Well, what a weekend it was for Bayside. Hobart Petanque Club organised a wonderful weekend of friendship and petanque. Over 2 days, a mixed doubles and a gender doubles competitions were held. In the gender doubles, Sue and Anne, David and Elaine, and at the last minute, Jared and Terry, who was asked to partner Jared because of a no-show with Jared's partner, fronted up for Bayside. Congratulations to Sue and Anne, who won 4 out of 5 games in the round robin. An absolutely fantastic result against some very tough opposition. David and Elaine and Jared and Terry also had some great wins and some knife-edge losses. Now, much to their surprise, our Super Sue and Amazing Anne played in the women's grand final. It was an absolutely wonderful game, full of great shots, laughter and camaraderie, and Sue and Anne lost to Giselle and Gillian from Hobart Petanque after the hooter, so it was a fantastic game. Congratulations, Sue and Anne. Bayside salute you. You are fantastic players. Your grace and generosity of spirit shone in every game you played. True Bayside champions. Cheering the girls on was a great team of loyal Bayside supporters who, rugged up against the cold, lived every shot for their team, and it was exhausting. Now, in the mixed doubles, Baysiders who did the club proud were Elaine again and Giselle, Anne and David, and Sue and Terry. Now, Sue and Terry absolutely blitzed the field in the round robin. They won 5 games, 13-9, 13-0, 13-0, 13-1 and 13-2. Incredibly, their delta score for the competition was plus 63. Congratulations, Bayside players. Cracker players you are. Come grand final time, Sue and Terry were caught on the hop. Despite their wonderful games, they had no idea they were in the offing until summons to the piste. They did know they'd won all their games, but didn't know, of course, what the other teams had done over the day. So they were pretty stoked. In the final, they played Terry Branson from Hobart and Eric from Derwent/Hobart. After that round robin of 5 games, the leagues were feeling a trifle weary for the Fab Four, but they pulled themselves together, took a deep breath, shuffled the feet, focused the steely gland, and the game was on its way. With eager spectators all around the piste, both teams gave it their best. Sue and Terry had a stellar start with the score 8-2 after 4 ends. Terry B and Eric got the bit between their teeth then. They were determined to close the gap and the amazing shots rained. Eric did the most wonderful bomb, which looked certain to be a carreau, but Terry's holding bull did not cooperate and flicked gently to the side and sat against the cosh. Oh, the moans and groans and the wild applause. Good sport that he is, Eric could only laugh, well used to the vagaries of the frustrating game of petanque. Now, Sue and Terry, how confusing is that, Terry and Terry in the one game, held fast and played out a fantastic game with the final score being 13-3. The fans were spellbound. Applause was wholehearted and enthusiastic, and there were moans of commiseration for the wayward ball all too. One Hobart member commented, "It was an honour to watch you two play." It was a game played in the best humour, with respect and genuine appreciation of one another's skills. There were actually 4 champions on the piste. Sue and Terry, you've done Bayside proud. It was a terrific weekend, organised by Hobart Petanque, and everyone is looking forward to next year.
Hey, thank you, Robin. That was so good we might even try and squeeze in another one of your reports a little bit later on. Whilst we're on that note, Petanque Points welcomes input from anyone about anything petanque, as long as it's positive and non-political. Send any reports or requests for interviews to audiorexy@gmail.com. That's audiorexy@gmail.com. Still on reports and results, the annual PFA National Championships were held in Adelaide over Easter 2021. Host club Novar Gardens Petanque Club set a new standard in hosting the 3 events, singles, doubles and triples, across 4 divisions, Open Women's 60+, Open 60+ Women's. These comments were taken from online and says it all. Sorry, I don't know the author's name. The very recent Easter Nationals competition at Novar Gardens, South Australia, was voted by everyone as a great success. The preparation work done by Jonathan Giddins and his large band of willing helpers really paid off, and we hope they are now having a well-earned rest thanks to the hosting club all the volunteers and to the local council and football club because they gave permission to form 6 extra lanes on their car park in order to accommodate the singles entrance. That's very good of them. For a complete breakdown of the results, please see My Petanque website. That's the My Petanque website, not My Petanque website, but the My Petanque website. But here are some of the top finishes. For the National Championship Singles Final Ranking Open Principal, Lionel Chazal from the Eastern Suburbs Petanque Club, Sachin Tika from the Boulles Artistes Petanque Club, and Vic Ramjuten from the Dodo Petanque Club. The Singles Final Ranking Women Principal was Selena Daly, Eastern Suburbs Petanque Club, May Ratana from Dove Petanque Club, and from Boulles Artistes Petanque Club, 2 third places, Kimberly Broadridge and Chantal McGrath. The final ranking in the Open Principal of the doubles, you'll never guess, Justin Sumri and Frederick Venkatasamy. Second was Michael Lacasse and Lionel Chazal. Third, Jean-Claude Dufresne and my greatest of petanque friends, Piero Lubin. The final ranking for the principals women's was Deb Rodder and Selena Daly. Chantal McGrath was second with May Ratana and third, Tori McBride with Anna O'Connor. Final ranking for the Open 60-plus principals, Glenn Bovell with Trevor Keelar. Second was Gary Dyerson and Peter Whittaker. Go, Peter. And look at the team that came in third, Nicole Buffet and Antoine Buffet. Final ranking for women's 60-plus principals, Kate Mangan and June Hunter. Second, Catherine Crichton and Kerry Madden. And third, Jennifer Cuthbert. Go, Jennifer, with Victoria O'Connor. The other large competition held in March was, of course, the Pyrenees Open doubles held at Avoca. Avoca, which, by the way, is only 8 kilometres away from Bung Bong, for those that weren't sure. With a quick overview of the weekend, here is our roving reporter who does not want to be identified for fear of repercussions on his comments, so we won't mention Michael's name.
Yes, that's correct, Rex. Avoca is always a good destination and competition venue. The weather's generally great, and it was for part of the time, but it poured raining on the last game around about 4 o'clock, 4:30. But above it, we had a wonderful time.
And how did you go personally, Michael?
I was partnered with Billy Wright, and we made the final 32. And, yeah, we got into the consulate and came equal fifth. So we were happy and pleased with what we had and what we did.
So you found the competition reasonably strong, did you?
Yes, Avoca is always reasonably strong. There's clubs from all over Victoria.
As well as the semi-trailers coming up and down the street.
Yes, they are a hazard, but if you let your bull go too fast, you might hit one. But apart from that, we're all pretty safe.
I thought I saw photographs of rainstorms and thunderous, terrible clouds and those, so they didn't bother you at all.
Well, we were playing the last game in pouring rain and rivulets of water pouring down the centre of the piss, but we soldiered on and finished the game.
I'm very pleased, Michael, and congratulations to you and Billy for doing so well.
Thank you.
Excellent, thanks, Michael. And here's some of the other results. 2021 Avoca Doubles Principal, there he is again up the top. Piero Lubin, Christine Lucette. Second, Frederick Vikatasamy and Jason Sumeri. Third, Alexandre Bisseth with Saryin. Fourth, Gervais Ribet and Chris Sullivan. Then the complementaire. First, Marshall Lecomte and Jean-Claude Dufresne. Second, David Williams, David Walker. Third, Beverly Forsyth, Chris Prisgorda. Fourth, Jeff Langdon. Good on you, Jeff. And Rory Langdon. And equal fifth, no bias here, go Michael Young and Billy Wright. Did you get that? Michael Young and Billy Wright. Avoca Doubles Social Final. First, Gary Van Sommeren with Bob Knowles. Second, Board Solnardal and Chris Butler. Did you get that, Board and Chris? No bias here still. And third, Mitchie Lebrun and Kerry Madden. Thank you. While we're on the Sunshine Coast, north of Brisbane, we went in search of petanque clubs to see if we could get a game. The only club we could find anywhere near the area was Tewantin Noosa Petanque Club, listed as a local sports club located in Tewantin Sports Complex. Well, we spent most of Sunday afternoon in search of what seems to be a ghost club. We will be that way again at times, so if anyone is aware of any clubs in the area, let us know at audiorexy@gmail.com. A big shout out to other clubs that may not be large or affiliated with the PFA. Send a note and we'll send out a shout out to you too. Look, I think we'll bring back Robin from Bayside in Tasmania to tell us about the Mad March competition. They really do have fun down there.
Waking up to rain certainly didn't dampen the enthusiasm of members who were keen to take part in the Mad March Hare Easter Bonnet Melee. The other competition in play was the Best Easter Bonnet competition. What excitement for the day ahead. As well as puddles like lakes and the soggiest of surfaces, the piste was awash with Covent Garden flower sellers, Baroness Bunnies, Madame Rosé, the Chook who laid the gold egg, Chicken Licken and his friend Henny Penny, Mrs. Easter Bunny with bobbing egg, and a Mexican wrestler who had somehow lost his way and was at the wrong party. HRH, Queen of Taruna and all she surveys, incognito in a sun hat, and a plethora of flower-decorated drawers, bunny ears and flowery tiaras. Oh, how Baysiders love to dress up. The gazebo sheltering the scoring table was cut off by a moat, which members had to jump to lodge their scores. This made for a very civilised afternoon for the scorers. No visits to check the time, check the scores, check the next draw, or just hear the gossip. What bliss. They even managed to have a cuppa. Now, despite the saturated piste, play went on ahead. In the first game, by order of the tournament director, players had to wear their Easter finery, which made a fine sight. While all this was going on, Simon roped in two people from the barbecue next door to be independent judges of the Best Easter Bonnet. Poor things. They were quite sure everyone was mad, but they were very conscientious, having a quiet confab between themselves and then naming their choice. Drum roll here, the winner was Martin Blair. Martin had amazed Vanessa by designing and making his own hat. Little did she know he had a secret weapon. And Madame Rosé had challenged Martin, saying that he must have an Easter hat, and she mentored him all along the way until, resplendent in his Bunnings Breton, he won the Easter eggs. Martin's win is all because of you, Anne. Congratulations. The rain just held off for round 2. Round 3 was just about over when the heavens opened. It was a mad rush and a jump over the moat to gain shelter in the gazebo, which became very squeezy and lots of fun. After having it so good, the scorers had to do their sums with everyone looking over their shoulders, scrutiny as every one of them. That was a bit scary. And the winners? David with 3 wins and a delta score of plus 22 was first. Elaine with 3 wins and a delta of 16 was second. Congratulations and well played, everyone. New member Graham was presented with the Encouragement Award, a bunch of carrots. The Easter Bunny would have been proud of him. All squeezed in the gazebo, it was close encounters of the petanque kind for the presentation ceremony. Prizes were handed over heads to reach the winners. Photos were close up in the extreme. To finish off a great afternoon, Christina made the most scrumptious quiche for members to share, with Renato displaying superior cutting skills, making sure that everyone had a piece. Thank you to the Delfatti family, cooks extraordinaire. Thank you to Vanessa and Anne for taking the photos. Thank you to everyone for pitching in and dismantling the gazebo and packing up the gear in the quickest time ever. I believe the Blair's garage is full of drying gazebo bits and pieces. Thank you for turning up on a rainy day, everyone, and entering into the fun, Bayside as at best. A plethora of photos today. Photos were taken as people turned up, and then more turned up, and then more came along, and then we wanted a group photo, and it went on and on from there. Hoping your eyes don't glaze over, everyone. Don't forget, if you are ever in Hobart, please come and join the fun and play some incredible petanque with Bayside Bulles. We welcome visitors, always and always.
Thank you, Robin. That's fantastic. And I was holding the photographs up to the microphone as you spoke about it. Thank you. Each episode, I'm challenged to find an oddity on or about petanque. This one is by Thomas Addison and was first published in 9/10/2018 by Associated Press. Paris. They only went to play a calm game of petanque and enjoy some late summer warmth by a Parisian canal. By the end of the evening, the three friends had neutralised a knife-wielding attacker who had stabbed 7 people with an unlikely weapon, the game's clanking and hefty metal boules. Lobbing them in their dozens at the attacker and whacking him on the head with a wooden plank, they managed to bring the horror that befell the 19th district on Sunday night to an end. The attacker is now in custody and the police are trying to piece together what happened and what the attacker's motivations for his bloody rampage were. Without the bravery of the three friends and the normally slow-moving steel globes, it could have been a lot worse. The area, after all, was full of revellers from a popular cinema complex, tourists and families. 2 British tourists were among those injured. Luckily for everyone there, petanque player Bujima Hamani and his 2 friends were on hand and ready to wield their own weapons of choice. Petanque, a typically Gallic pastime played by some 20 million French in which a ball is slowly rolled along the gravelly ground, is ubiquitous in Parisian courtyards in summer months. It's popular with the elderly and does not have a reputation associated with danger, action or speed. Until now. In a surprise response at 11 p.m, the friends, none of whom can be considered elderly, chased the attacker, who officials believe is Afghan, down the street and showered him with their normally peaceful steel spheres that can weigh almost a kilogram. Some 30 were thrown at the attacker as he was trying to stab people with a 15-inch kitchen knife. At least one struck his head. Hamani, who helped disarm and arrest the knife man, initially thought it was normal commotion. My God. Perhaps a brawl. Nothing especially out of the ordinary. Interesting 19th district. But some young girls and young boys ran towards us, telling us, careful, he has a knife, Hamani told Associated Press. It was when the knifeman arrived on the Bassin de la Villette canal that Hamani and his friends started throwing their uncommon projectiles and anything else they could find at him, until he lost his balance and fellow petanque player Reda Schmain hit him on the head with a wooden plank. Schmain then managed to wrest the knife away from the attacker, as his friends were able to block him from the ground until plainclothes police arrived. Schmain told French network BFM TV that he struck the attacker's left arm, which was holding the knife. I jumped on the knife and took it from his hand, he said. Then I fell with him and knocked him out. The Parisian petanque players were lauded for their bravery as French authorities opened a murder investigation into the attack. On Twitter, French Interior Minister Gerard Collomb praised their courage and reactivity. Paris police said 4 of the victims were in serious condition, including one in a life-threatening condition. Of course it's scary. We are human beings. We are not Superman. So if we're stabbed, we're going to die. But we didn't have time to think about it, Hamani said before reflecting. We had a weapon like him. Parisian courtyards in summer months. It's popular with the elderly and does not have a reputation associated with danger, action or speed. Until now. Now, back to the 7 deadly sins of petanque. Last episode, I presented first of the 7 sins. Sin number 1, not playing as a team, from an article by Ray Ager from Anglia Petanque Association. Today's sin number 2, not checking the head, not thinking tactically. This is often related to aspects already touched upon. Usually players playing boules in quick succession without checking the head, which can mean playing out of turn without discussing with your team how to play and invariably not thinking tactically. How can you if you don't know the position of the game, who's holding, who's got second and third, etc.? Remember Einstein's 4th principle? The view from the circle is deceptive. There's always a foreshortening effect, and if you walk to the jack, you'll often get a very different view from the circle. Usually you want one or both teammates at the jack checking positions, telling you if you're on or not. Here are a few classic examples your team should be thinking about. Always the basic question, are we going to point or shoot? The opponent's first boule is close to the jack. Do you shoot straight away, or point one first, then shoot? You miss a shot. Should you shoot again? You point 2 or 3 bulls and fail to beat the opponent's bull. Do you carry on pointing or do you shoot? The shooter wants to shoot and the pointer wants to point. What do you do? I've been told that if you announce you're about to tell a joke, it won't work. So anyway, are you ready? A malapropism walks into the bar looking for all intensive purposes like a wolf in sheep clothing, muttering epitaphs and casting dispersions on his magnificent other, who takes him for granite. Yes, I think that's quite enough for the day. Say hello to your new PFA board. Drop into the Mount Martha Boulodrome, and if you're passing, call in on Robin and Terry at Bayside. Applaud Jonathan Giddens and the team for that fantastic job at the Nationals. And what great results at Avoca. Beware the bull that is a weapon, and be sure to check the head. Thanks for dropping by. Send submissions, requests, comments. No comments to audiorex@gmail. Rex out.
Sick of Rex. Sick of Rex. You're a good cat. Sick of Rex. You're a good cat. Sick of Rex. You're a good cat. You're a good man, Rex.